Hello viewers, welcome to Charcha with Founder. This is Rohit Gupta, founder of College Vidya Co-Founder, an online education portal. So today we'll be doing चर्चा with founder and MD of upGrad, Mr. Mayank Kumar. So Mr. Mayank से आज हमने चर्चा करी कि 2015 में ऐसा क्या हुआ था कि एक रात को उनको लगा कि कल से हम इंडिया को पढ़ाने का तरीका चेंज करते हैं, कंप्लीटली ऑनलाइन पढ़ाते हैं. मिस्टर मयंक कुमार जिन्होंने upGrad 2015 में लॉन्च किया और तब ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का सपना देखा जब किसी को ऑनलाइन के बारे में कुछ पता ही नहीं था, और upGrad स्टार्ट करने में उनको क्या क्या चैलेंजेस आए और आज भी क्या क्या चैलेंजेस हैं. तो ये चर्चा बच्चों के लिए जो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन में जाना चाहते हैं उनके लिए, एंटरप्रेन्योर जो बिजनेसमैन है जो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं या जो कर रहे हैं, और पेरेंट्स के लिए जो आज भी मानते हैं कि ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन अभी भी वो सही नहीं है, आज भी रेगुलर एजुकेशन ही सही है. आज लाखों बच्चे ऑनलाइन पढ़ रहे हैं. वी वांट टू टेक दिस ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन crores of population that lives in India who are ready to skill. So Mike, where this idea came from? Let's change the way India learn.
No, so for me, I've always been in education. So the idea to make India change the way it learns was largely because that's the only sector I've been in. So before this, I was investing in education, I was consulting in the education sector. So every place that we go, I would see only education. So there was always this thought process that if I've seen so much, why not apply the same in building something of my own? And that's the reason why the journey of upGrad started. So I think it is more being in the sector, knowing the sector, that's number one. Two, personally, education has played a very important role in my life, in my career, and that has definitely helped me appreciate the value of education, what education can bring to what I'm doing. And I think three was a little bit of frustration that having education impacted so much of my own life, having seen multiple education companies, I was not able to see great companies coming out of India at that point in time because there were not too many education or so-called education-led startups because the quality was not great. They were looking at it very differently, and therefore that frustration also partly led to starting up the journey with upGrad early on.
I'm sure there must be challenges in 2015 when you started upGrad. So how come you overcome those challenges?
No, there are multiple challenges. I think one of the biggest challenge was because education was new, team was a big challenge. How do you build the team out? How do you get the right set of people? Because there were not too many people available from content or pedagogy who can build content out. Learning product and learning platform. There was a lot of conversation about MOOCs. If you remember that time, everybody was talking about MOOCs. So everybody was fascinated about MOOCs. But I had a very clear view that MOOCs will not solve for the problem of education. They will solve for the problem of library, but not education. So how do you get product guys and technology guys and learning guys who understand how to build education but not libraries, and how do we sort of create that ecosystem? So I think team was a big challenge. I think I was lucky enough early on to have the right set of co-founders. I think Ronnie, who comes from a strong media background, understood how to build brand and scale. Falgun, who's my other co-founder, he really understood how to take a large team, drive sales, drive revenue, drive conversions, drive people to come and take up our program. Ravi, who was our earlier ex-co-founder, he focused a lot on product and building product and learning experience to deliver the right kind of outcomes. I think the team complemented really well. Yeah. And that was a big challenge. And after that, the other challenges were about, first of all, education is not a very great business, if I can call it, to be in, because first of all, you tell everybody that pay me some amount of money. So they say, okay, I'll pay you the money, but what will you give me in return? Will you make my life easier? I say, I'm not going to make your life easier. I want time from you also. So they say, okay, I'll give you time, but what will you give me in return? And don't worry about what I'll give you in return. It will come to you after 2 years or after 1 year. So it's a long gestation period product. So how do you convince people to take up something online early on, that online can also be a product ecosystem where you can learn, you can pick up things. I think all of those things were initial challenges, but because we invested heavily on building the right team and the right product, it allowed us to stay ahead of the curve. It allowed us to be more in favor with the consumer who liked what we are bringing to the table, and that's how the journey for us overall started as well.
So I guess those are sorted out. Any current challenges that we are facing?
No, I think currently I think challenges never get over. There's a different flavor. It's a part of life. There are different flavor of challenges that come in. Now the challenges are that now that we are so big, how do we retain people and how do we hold people for a longer period of time, because in today's day and age people change job very quickly. After every 2 years, 3
So
years,
that's the problem with every sizable business.
yeah, every business in India right now, that there's a lot of attrition, a lot of churn. So I think on team side that's one problem, and on the other side I personally believe, and that's where sort of what you guys are doing is also phenomenal, that consumers are there to learn education online, but they're not fully convinced. They are not fully clear that okay, education online will also give me some value. So how do you build and continue to build an ecosystem where consumers believe, yeah, I can also learn, I don't have a problem, I can also pick up something, I can also sort of take up an online program and see an impact on my career. I think that awareness of online education can lead to outcomes is my next sort of problem statement to solve for.
Even I have seen this, making urban areas, or I would say tier 1 students, making them understand what online education is actually easier.
Yeah.
Then to make rural guys understand, and their parents,
Yeah.
that come into online education, there's everything available.
Yeah.
You don't need to switch from your city to a metro city to learn.
Correct.
That's a challenge.
No, it's a big challenge, and right now if you see that their credibility in the smaller towns are not as high as what it is in the urban sort of ecosystem. But I guess COVID in the last 2-3 years, when the entire country was learning online, so if you and me have our kids studying and learning online, and you see somebody learning online for the entire period of 1 year, 2 year, you suddenly start realizing that अरे online सीख सकते हैं. If this person can learn, मैं भी अपनी तरफ से करके पढ़ सकता हूँ. I think that definitely helped give a boost where people started believing that online can be learned. I give a running joke because people ask the question that online का efficacy है कि नहीं है. In the entire history of management education, the highest placement that any sort of MBA graduate got was the batch that learned completely online. So the batch that graduated in 2022 had learned completely online during the period, and they had the highest placement numbers, highest salary packages, highest increments and growth. So people realize that online people can learn, but taking that same message down to a smaller town and a smaller city is a challenge. But I think what is happening right now, the good part is that now you are seeing a lot of people finding jobs. I have a learner who has gotten a 300% jump and gone to, let's say, Singapore. Somebody who has come from a small town has now gotten a big job in Bangalore. A Bangalore guy going to Canada and settling down there. Somebody in Mumbai finding a job in Delhi or in Germany and moving in these paths. So people are realizing that education is a door which opens up opportunities, and whether you learn it online or you learn it offline, at the end of the day you have to commit. See, the other problem is in India, we do not appreciate as much that many times after your 12th or even after your college education, undergraduate, from a societal perspective and family perspective, you have to start earning.
Yeah.
You do not have the option.
Our parents expect from us.
Yeah, they expect that बस अभी बहुत हो गया, तुमने जितना करना था, I spent enough for your education, अभी come and sort of start earning. कुछ करो यहाँ पे आकर के. And in the process of कुछ करो, people have to start earning immediately. And then they lose out. I did not do my MBA. I did not do my bachelor's. I missed out on doing a BCom. And after some 2-3 years later, they realize, अरे यार ये तो बहुत important चीज़ miss हो गई है. And then they do not have an option to go offline. So many places, online is the only option for people to sort of go and learn right now.
So do you know, online education will always be a boom, because COVID से पहले the infrastructure was not there. I guess 4G network, 5G network, every urban area it wasn't there, but now it has been
correct. Yeah,
it is set, the stage is set now.
Yeah,
everyone knows how to deal with online education. They have their mobile phones, they have their tablets, they have their laptops, and they have their internet speed also.
Correct. Yeah.
So did you always expect that online education will be a boom?
No, I always believed. जब हमने 2015 में when we started off, we are asked that question: where is the network? Who will watch videos? How will it happen? I said, look, network will get built, infrastructure will get built. We need to build a soft infrastructure, which is teaching the teachers how to teach online, getting the graders who can do things online, building up systems where online learning, pedagogy, plagiarism, cheating, and all those things can be managed in a meaningful manner. So I have always believed that it is such a strong force that everything around will get built because this is here to stay. People will learn. बहुत पहले क्या होता था कि when you move from one generation to another generation, jobs will move. So your surname used to define your job. Then अगर आपका surname ये है तो आप यही job पे रहोगे. In certain period of time, jobs move from one generation to another generation. So if your parents were farmer, the child became an engineer or a doctor or something else. And that happened, I think, in the last generation. And in the current generation, people are changing job every 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Today we say you will have about 7 to 10 jobs in your career span. और आप इमेजिन करो 2 जनरेशन 3 जनरेशन पहले जॉब्स चेंज नहीं होते थे. अगर आप लॉयर हो तो आप लॉयर हो, अगर आप डॉक्टर हो तो आप डॉक्टर हो, अगर आप मेसन हो तो आप मेसन पे काम कर रहे हो. जॉब चेंज हुआ, अभी जॉब रेगुलरली चेंज होती है.
इनफैक्ट बुक्स नहीं चेंज होती थी, 10-10
बुक्स नहीं चेंज होती थी. सो आज के टाइम पे इतनी जल्दी स्किल्स चेंज हो रहे हैं दैट ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन तो करना ही है आपको. और आपके पास वो ऑप्शन नहीं है दैट यू कैन लीव योर जॉब एंड गो एंड स्टडी and sort of
actually afford it.
You cannot afford it. So online तो रहना ही है. अभी अगर वो रहना है then everything else has to come in place. That infrastructure has to come in place. Teachers will get trained. People will appreciate the value of online. We will see employers accepting online because there is no other option for people to do. I think the ecosystem will come because this secular force is very very strong. और अगर ये force चलता रहेगा, everybody will come and align into that ecosystem.
So job placement and promotion. A placement plays an important role in learners trusting online education. So have you been able to crack this code of providing placement to the learners who actually took online education?
तो क्या होता है कि 3 चीज़ें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आउटकम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. बहुत लोगों को लगता है खाली एक डिग्री मिल जाए वो एक बड़ी आउटकम है, लेकिन we measure outcomes in 3 different categories. The first one is whether I transitioned, which is I'm working in company A or I'm doing X. Did I get a job in company Y or I transitioned to a different company, different role? The second one for us is acceleration. That I'm at 5 lakh. Did I get promoted and I went to 8 lakh? I'm at 8 lakh. Did I get promoted and got to 17 lakhs, etc., etc., etc. So transition is one, acceleration is one. And the third one, which you will not believe, is a concept called professional confidence. That after doing this, I'm able to manage a larger team. I'm able to lead a team of large people. I'm able to manage a new zone. I'm able to take up a new product and sort of scale that up. ये जो तीसरी चीज़ है professional confidence, it seems sometimes fluffy. अरे ये तो बहुत ही soft factor है. It's not a transition. It's not a career acceleration growth. It's not promotion, but it is just professional confidence. पर अगर आप आज के टाइम पे देखोगे ना, I was talking to one learner. वो मुझे बोला कि मेरी जॉब लग गई है. I was working in an Indian tech services company. Now I have an offer from Amazon in Canada and I'm joining them as machine learning engineer. Or my dad still does not appreciate it because for my father, it was always that I should have gone to an IIT. And a lot of my friends went to IIT or BITS or NIT. I went to a small college. And then he started talking and he broke down. He started crying. He said, look, I've achieved so much. I've gotten to IT services company. Now I have an offer from Amazon in Canada. I will join them as machine learning engineer. But in my eyes of my parents, I'm still not a success. But today when I go back home and I say I have a master's and I've done this thing, I feel far more confident going back to my parents and saying, मैंने ये किया है और जो मेरे पास आज के टाइम पे जॉब है वो IIT के ग्रेजुएट्स के पास भी नहीं होती है. So I think that professional confidence matter a lot. But between these three, roughly about 80% of our learners find an outcome 6 months post completion of their job. Roughly 1/3 are on transition, a third are on career acceleration, and a third are there on professional confidence, and they're leading a larger team. So that's the reason why we have been able to demonstrate the outcomes. Outcomes में क्या होता है ना कि it's not very easy that अगर आपने कोर्स कर लिया आपको आउटकम मिल जाएगा. एजुकेशन में जब तक आप किसी को थप्पड़ नहीं मारते हो, जब तक आप किसी को धक्का नहीं देते हो, तो आउटकम्स नहीं मिलते. सो इवन आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ द प्रोग्राम, अगर कल को आपका इंटरव्यू है, देन वील प्रोवाइड यू विद मॉक इंटरव्यूज़. अगर कल को आपको किसी कंपनी के पास जानी है तो मैं आपका CV में हेल्प करता हूँ. मेंटर इज असाइंड. वी हैव अ प्लेसमेंट एंड रिक्रूटिंग कंपनी विद इन upGrad. So that goes and talks to companies and brings jobs. So we recently cracked a very large one with a large GCC who's looking at hiring about 400 digital marketers. We are doing something with one of the largest system integrators, IT services company that's looking to hire more full stack developers. So मेरी जो placement company है वो बहुत सारे jobs लेके आती है, and my learners sort of apply to them and they find jobs. But once you are having an interview on your own, we also support you in cracking those interviews and cracking those jobs. I think just last week about 30 odd people got their first job, because this was a fresher category, of about 8 lakh rupees. And that is not very easy to get in the Indian context. A lot of working professionals got a 30, 40, 50% jump in the same company. So we feel that the ecosystem is ready to deliver results, और result अगर आता है तो लोग आते हैं.
So what sets upGrad apart from numerous online tech players that are there in the market? And I guess 900 more online universities would be getting approval in by next year. So what sets upGrad apart from?
दो चीज़ें I think पहला तो ये है कि while we can be differentiated, मगर the country needs multiple education companies. The country needs multiple online universities. The country needs many more sort of enablers, and not just upGrad. So while we'll differentiate, I also believe that more people coming into the sector is good for the sector, because the sector itself will grow and it will continue in the growth trajectory. Now coming to upGrad and what differentiates us, so first of all, we don't call ourselves edtech. We never sort of position ourselves as edtech, because we are education first. So education is the crux of what we do. Technology happens to enable us, but है तो हम education company. So what differentiates us and what takes us slightly unique is our focus on outcomes. Because we focus on outcomes, the way we've designed the program, and we were discussing earlier also that अगर हम MBA कर रहे हैं तो खाली MBA क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why can we not add ACCA, or why can we not add government test prep?
Industry experts
को बुला करके, ताकि प्रोग्राम में एक आउटकम लेड फोकस आए. क्योंकि देखिए, आप दो तरीके से पढ़ाई दे सकते हैं. हम ये बोल सकते हैं कि आप पढ़ो, आपको डिग्री मिल जाएगी, आप खुश रहो. और हम ये बोल सकते हैं आप पढ़ो, आपको डिग्री मिल जाएगी, बट हम आपको प्रिपेयर करेंगे आपके करियर के लिए. एंड दैट आउटकम इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट ऑफ व्हाट वी फोकस अ लॉट ऑन. Despite it being an online program, we have an 85% plus completion rate, which if you compare to any other platform, it is not this one. Dropout बहुत ज़्यादा होता है आपका यहाँ पे. तो हम बहुत फोकस करते हैं कि उनको पढ़ाएं और वो कंप्लीट कराएं. आपको मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ. आप कभी जिम गए हो? Have you taken an admission? So if you go to a gym, lot of people start in January, by March, April they drop off.
हाँ, वो resolutions बनते हैं.
Resolution बनते हैं, आप उसके बाद ड्रॉप कर देते हो. ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन ही वैसा ही है. आप ज्वाइन करते हो, फिर आपका 3-4 महीने बाद में लगता है कि यार कौन पढ़ाई करेगा, छोड़ो, एक सेमेस्टर का फीस है, ख़त्म करते हैं, निकल जाते हैं. उनको धक्का देना पड़ता है. आपको इन सर्टेन केसेस, आर यू मैरिड और सो योर स्पाउस विल गेट अ मैसेज दैट you are not finishing your assignments or homework. If you have a kid, your kid may end up getting a message. तो वो आपको पास आता है कि अगर आपका your mother is not finishing the assignment or your father is not finishing the assignment, then you can go and tell them कि देखो आप भी नहीं करो तो हम भी नहीं करेंगे. And education थोड़ा सा it's a societal driven thing, कि मतलब together everybody goes through this thing. अगर आपने 10th या 12th किया होगा तो आप अकेले नहीं पढ़ रहे थे. आपके पूरा पेरेंट्स आपके साथ पढ़ाई कर रहे थे.
मैं बोर्डिंग में था तो वहाँ पे डोमेट्री सिस्टम होता था.
सब साथ पढ़ते थे,
सारे खेलते थे तो सारे खेलते थे. करेक्ट है.
सो एजुकेशन रिक्वायर्स दैट थिंग कि वो अकेले करना बहुत मुश्किल है. एंड वन बिग चैलेंज इन एजुकेशन इज हाउ डू यू ब्रिंग दैट कम्युनिटी फीलिंग, हाउ डू यू ब्रिंग अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग learning continuity.
And when you are isolated and let's say in Jaisalmer or let's say Udaipur, जब आप isolated और कोई नहीं
और आप कैसे पढ़ोगे उधर पे,
और आप कैसे पढ़ोगे, कम्युनिटी कैसे बिल्ड करोगे.
करेक्ट. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू नीड अ सो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन टिप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि जब भी आप ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, सो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन में एनोनिमिटी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. होता ये है कि आपने ज्वाइन किया और आपने किसी को बताया भी नहीं होगा, 4-5 लोगों को पता होगा. सो आई यूज्ड टू स्मोक लॉन्ग टाइम बैक. So in 2015 I quit, and my co-founder and I spoke and we said, let's tell everybody that I'm quitting. So my co-founder went and told everybody that I'm quitting. I said, why are you saying this? He said, look, अगर वो मुझे कल को देखेगा, at least he will slap me. ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन में क्या होता है कि आप किसी को बताते नहीं हो. So आपके लिए बहुत आसान हो जाता है ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन में घुसना और निकलना भी, बिकॉज किसी को पता नहीं है. अगर बहुत लोगों को पता हो, अगर आप ऑफलाइन में गए होते, आप बोर्डिंग स्कूल से निकल गए होते, ना आपको दिक्कत होती, ना आपके पेरेंट्स को दिक्कत होती, बट आपका जो चाचा या ताऊ जी है जो बहुत दूर में बैठे हुए, वो पूछे लड़का बिगड़ गया, लड़के से कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा. एंड दैट पुट्स अ लॉट ऑफ प्रेशर ऑन यू टू कंप्लीट इट. In online, that pressure is not there, but how do you build that pressure? How do you get the community? So a very interesting tip is that you should always have a partner who's not studying, but you have nominated somebody that अगर मैं पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ मैं आपको अपना partner बना लूँगा.
This is a system in place where
It is not a system, but that's something that we tell our learners that you should definitely find a partner who will hold you accountable. कि आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, आप खत्म कर रहे हो, आप आगे बढ़ रहे हो, कुछ मिस तो नहीं हो रहा आपके यहाँ पे. These things help a lot in completion and help a lot in making sure the learner is finishing the learning journey and not just taking a program and घर बैठ गए अकेले कुछ सोचा और छोड़ के चले गए.
So as per the reports, India has reached a population of 1.4 billion और I would say in Hindi 140 करोड़ की population है. ये अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है और ये लाइबिलिटी भी है. अपॉर्चुनिटी इसलिए है कि अगर हम इनको स्किल करें, रीस्किल्ड करें, इनको तैयार करें जॉब मार्केट के लिए तो हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा होगा. और अगर ये लाइबिलिटी बन गए हमारे लिए, ये ऐसे ही रहे तो ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. तो एक्चुअली आपने एक बहुत बड़ा ऑब्जेक्टिव लिया है जो मासेस को पढ़ाने का. तो डू यू ड्रीम ऑफ इंडिया वेयर एवरीबॉडी इज स्किल्ड?
देखिए मेरा टेक आई थिंक ऑफ इट स्लाइटली इन अ स्लाइटली डिफरेंट वे. सो जब हम स्कूल में थे वी यूज्ड टू हैव अ डिबेट कंपटीशन और उसका टॉपिक होता था डेमोग्राफिक और पॉपुलेशन बून और अ बेन.
होता था
कि ये बहुत कॉमन डिबेट का टॉपिक होता था, बून और अ बेन. ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इट हैड बिकम अ डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड. That everybody talks about India as a demographic dividend, youngest population, सबसे नया population. We don't call it demographic disaster or demographic debt. And skilling plays a very important role in creating India into a very skilled nation. But I believe that it is not just India youth is not an opportunity just for India, but for the world. Because अगर आप देखोगे, there are a lot of fields in which talent will be in shortage, whether it is tech, whether it is medical, whether it is healthcare, whether it is accounting, talent shortage globally होगा. India has an opportunity today to be the talent capital of the world. It is not just about jobs in India. Indians will be in huge demand across the world for different roles. Nurses कहाँ पे आएंगे आपके पास? जापान में या कोरिया में या साउथ अफ्रीका में या यूके में. India will be the biggest supplier of nurses. Allied healthcare workers will come from India who will go to different parts of the world and settle down there. Tech आप already देखते हो, technology workers are going abroad and settling down everywhere. 40% of CFOs in Dubai are Indians who have gone and settled there. So India has to become the talent capital of the world. It is not just about India job system के लिए हमें लोग चाहिए, but अगर हम skill नहीं करेंगे, we will lose out the opportunity that India is the talent hub which will provide talent to the world, and that will lead to more remittances coming back to the country. So I personally believe that this has to be taken so seriously that if we do not skill, not only we will lose out talent for Indian job market, but we will fail to supply talent for the global ecosystem.
So it would be a global problem then.
It will be a global problem, and there's no other way except for India. Which other country you think can provide talent at scale, which is skilled, knows the right language, has the empathy, has the capability of settling down in different environment and still be able to deliver the best kind of outcome and efficiency in different places?
Okay, so अभी 10 years back कोई बीटेक करता था, कोई बच्चा, कोई स्टूडेंट बीसीए करता था, एमसीए करता था, फिर वो जॉब मार्केट में चले जाता था और वो सेट हो जाता था, तो आगे कुछ नहीं होता था. अभी इट्स लाइक अ स्पोर्ट्स वेयर अ स्पोर्ट्समैन हैव टू प्रैक्टिस एवरी डे. आईपीएल आई तो उनको प्रैक्टिस मतलब चलती रहेगी. तो I think 40% of the manpower need reskilling again and again and again because job market अलग होता है.
Correct.
आज मैं 12th करके graduation में जाता हूँ. I do not know जब मैं 3 साल बाद बाहर निकलूंगा तो मैं जो आज पढ़ रहा हूँ वो चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा. तो that's a very
it's changing very rapidly. That's why I say ना कि job जो है generation to generation आती थी, generation to generation change हुई. अब within a generation 4-5 बार या 6 बार change होती है. आज के दिन पे मुझे when I graduated उस समय there was no role as data scientist. Digital marketer, social media marketer, UI UX expert, product managers, ये सारे रोल्स होते ही नहीं थे. और आज जब मैं कैंपस पे जाता हूँ बच्चे खाली इन्हीं रोल्स के बारे में बात करते हैं. So roles will change significantly and that's largely happening because of the disruption from digital and data. Data and digital is disrupting the entire ecosystem. Things are going digital, a lot more data is coming in and you need to sort of learn these skills. Because of the constant sort of change in skills, you do not, the half life of knowledge जो पहले आपने कहा था जो किताबें 10 साल चलती थी अब वो 2 साल चलती है या 1 साल चलती है या 1.5 साल चलती है. धीरे धीरे करके जो हाफ लाइफ ऑफ नॉलेज है वो कम होती जा रही है. एंड यू डू नॉट हैव दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दैट व्हाट यू लर्नड you can be satisfied. So education will not be a polio vaccination कि एक बार लग गया then life set है. आपको हर 2 साल में वैक्सीनेशन लगाने जाना पड़ेगा, हर 1 साल में आपको वैक्सीनेशन लगाना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज अगर आप नहीं लगाओगे then you will not be relevant for the job market, and if you are not relevant to the job market then you will grow your salary at 3% 4% month year on year versus 30% 40% year on year.
So there will be people who will keep themselves
absolutely
upskilling.
I think जब आप साल शुरू करते हो people when they start the year they put across the budget, they say यार इस साल हम ना इतना वेकेशन पे खर्च करेंगे, इतना हम लोग हेल्थ पे करेंगे, इतनी सेविंग्स होगी, इतना मेरा गोल्ड पे जाएगा, बट कोई लाइन आइटम नहीं है एजुकेशन की.
फैमिली में कभी मैंने प्लानिंग नहीं सोची कि देखी कभी की एजुकेशन के लिए प्लानिंग.
एंड वो एजुकेशन एक लाइन आइटम होगा, वो अपने बच्चों के एजुकेशन लाइन आइटम होगा, कभी भी अपना एजुकेशन में लाइन आइटम नहीं होता है. आई थिंक आवर एम्बिशन एंड विजन इज दैट हाउ डज इट बिकम अ लाइन आइटम इन समबडीज बजट प्लानिंग, कि आपने लिख लिया, आपने फ़ोन का लिखा है, आपने इंटरनेट का लिखा है और आपने एजुकेशन लिखा है. एजुकेशन पे मैं अपने ऊपर 1 लाख रुपए खर्च करूँगा. मेरा अगर लॉन्ग टर्म विजन आप बोलोगे ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा, अगर आपको गवर्नमेंट देती है you can spend 1 lakh rupees on ELSS and you get ATC benefit, government should give the same benefit, saying if you are spending 1 lakh rupee on education you will get 30% whatever, some tax rebate on what you are spending, because education पे अगर investment नहीं हुआ it will have a negative impact in our economy, and that's why these things are important for us to focus on as well.
मुझे ध्यान है 12th में इकोनॉमिक्स में एक था PDI, पर्सनल डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, उसमें कई सारे हेड्स होते थे और उसमें कभी भी एजुकेशन देयर वाजंट अ हेड कि यू शुड प्लान फॉर, मतलब पर्सनल डिस्पोजेबल इनकम आपको एजुकेशन के लिए भी रखनी चाहिए,
कभी नहीं होता है. एंड दैट्स द विजन दैट अगर हम लोग वो बना सके देन इंडिया वुड बी वेरी डिफरेंट प्लेस ऑल टुगेदर.
Since you have been in the pre and post pandemic, what has been the major differentiators of online education industry?
देखिए, एक तो है कि ऑनलाइन हैज़ नाउ बीन मोर एक्सेप्टेबल, पीपल सी ऑनलाइन एज एन एक्सेप्टेबल थिंग कि चलो अभी ऑनलाइन सीख सकते हैं, विच वॉज परहैप्स नॉट एज sort of pre-pandemic acceptable at that point in time. So I think number one is that acceptance has gone in very high. Number two, recruiters have understood that लोग जो ऑनलाइन पढ़ के आते हैं उनको भी हम हायर कर सकते हैं. So I think that acceptability from recruiters have also gone in. Individuals, they understand the efficacy. Recruiters also understand the people coming from online are legitimate people and they can add value to sort of what we are looking for. People are now used to learning online and seeing online, and that happened during the pandemic era. I think post-pandemic, अगर आपका question है कि what has been one negative because of this, the positive is that acceptability has gone up on both the side. One negative I can potentially put across is now people with offices opening up, a lot of people are going back to office, so they do not have as much time to learn. So sometimes online education is about fighting for the time. If I can carve out more time for people to learn, they will learn. But I think today with offices opening up, people are now traveling, they're going to the offices, therefore how do I get time? But the more you talk about outcomes, the more you talk about इनके promotion हुआ है, इनकी job लगी है, ये यहाँ से यहाँ पे गए, इनकी sort of increment हुई है. If those things we can start focusing a lot on, we'll see the results and people will take up online more and more credibly.
Because see, online में you have your own schedule. You can schedule your own classes. रात को 10 बजे पढ़ना है, सुबह 7 बजे पढ़ना है. So I don't think it's a problem for online education, because I'm coming from a school where I used to study late night. मैं सुबह नहीं उठ के पढ़ सकता था. So I find this a very good solution for me. अभी भी अगर मैं I would love to learn coding, तो मैं रात को 10 बजे की क्लास रखता हूँ अपनी. SQL में पढ़ता हूँ तो रात को 10 बजे की क्लास रखता हूँ, क्योंकि अब मैं जा सकता हूँ, मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ घर वालों को टाइम देने के बाद में.
एंड प्रोफेशनल के पास टाइम की कमी है, उनके पास टाइम नहीं है. आपको ऑनलाइन विल गिव यू द फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी टू डू इट एनी टाइम, बट इट इज़ एट द सेम टाइम रिगरस. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि इट शुड नॉट हैव रिगर, कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि लोग 2-3 बार ऑनलाइन पढ़े. ऐसी बहुत बार क्या होता है कि लोग बोलते हैं कि बहुत सारा कंटेंट अवेलेबल है ऑनलाइन यूट्यूब में, आप सब पढ़ सकते हो, बट वो तो लाइब्रेरी के पास भी था ना. लाइब्रेरीज आपके हर शहर में थी, बट कभी आप जाके खुद से नहीं पढ़ते हो अनलेस यू हैव द राइट मोटिवेशन दैट अगर मैं यहाँ पढ़ लूँ तो मुझे एक आउटकम मिलेगा, एंड द आउटकम इज व्हाट आई एम सॉर्ट ऑफ चेजिंग एट द एंड ऑफ द डे.
So as a founder of a strong edtech education brand, I would say, what strategies and plan does upGrad have to bridge the gap of underprivileged? That's a very important question.
Yeah.
As they are there any regional strategies in place to achieve this goal?
No, so good that you have now moved from edtech to education. But हमारे पास under upGrad we have roughly 4 foundations, not-for-profit foundations inside upGrad. via one not-for-profit foundation works only on CSR budgets to train people who are from a different sort of background who cannot afford some of the programs that we offer or the kind of skilling that they need at that point in time. We have one more foundation where we work with various state governments and local sort of ecosystem. One such initiative that we are running is with the first generation women learners from Telangana who are coming in for the first time, and Telangana is a big market for tech because a lot of people learn computer science, etc.
They don't have much funds.
Correct. We took our entire program of Startup India and offered it to the government. So that's one of these places where we have about close to about 3 million or 2 million people who are doing the program of Startup India free of cost and learning entrepreneurship in the entire process. So I think across various initiatives, whether it is First Time Girl Child, whether it is CSR initiative, whether it is about taking some of our programs and giving it to the government of India to drive it at scale, we are doing multiple of these initiatives. I think just last time we are doing some with Ministry of Skills, going to Bangalore, Hyderabad and Mumbai, and organizing training programs for underprivileged kids to train them. It's not underprivileged kids so much, but people who have gone through the college education or just going into the college education, giving them the right skills for the new age skills and adding them so that they can get upskill, get ready, and are ready to sort of take on jobs as well.
To build a brand company, there has to be a powerful leader behind it. And that's being said, how does 3 founder ratio works? How is your bonding with other founding members and the value they add or a responsibility?
So it's very important that you have a very strong co-founder group who are sort of coming together. So as I said earlier also, that all 3 of us are doing very different things. So we complement each other quite a lot. On one hand, Ronnie Screwwala, who is one of our co-founders, given that he has built multiple companies, as I said, he understands scale, he understands how to drive M&As, he's able to sort of focus a lot on brand, scale, and how do we take the company, let's say, to IPO, to listing, or to scaling up. That's sort of the broader focus. How do we build scale in the entire process? I focus a lot on day-to-day business. How do we build strong product which can sustain and deliver outcomes and demonstrate the results for our learner? And my third co-founder, Falgun, who's in the US, he focuses a lot on taking what we are doing here and expanding it into the US territories and global territories so that we can have a stronger international footprint also. Because education is an opportunity once in a lifetime where India can be a Vishwaguru, that we can be the teaching center, and if we are a talent capital of the world, we can also be the teaching capital of the world. So how do we take some of the learnings that we have into larger markets like the US? So he's based out of the US and building stronger presence for upGrad and Indian education in the US markets also. So I think 3 of us come together, we complement each other, and therefore it works out really strongly that one individual has got one strength, the other has another strength, the other has another strength, and together we are able to sort of drive the organization in the right direction.
अच्छा मयंक, मैंने देखा है कि आप ना बड़े कनेक्टेड रहते हो हर किसी से, तो हालांकि आपने एक स्टोरी शेयर की हमसे, पर कोई ऐसी हार्ट टचिंग स्टोरी यहाँ पे एक्चुअली आपको लगा हो यार कि मैंने ये बेस्ट काम कर दिया इस बच्चे के साथ में, उसने अपना एक्सपीरियंस आपसे शेयर किया हो?
देखिए, परसों कोई मिठाई आई थी हमारे ऑफिस में फॉर सम लर्नर, नहीं, बट आई टेल यू, आई मीन देयर मल्टीपल स्टोरीज. मेरे पास या 1 या 2 स्टोरीज तो नहीं है, मगर आई थिंक one story was I mean, I'll maybe give you 2 or 3 stories on this one. So I met these girls from Telangana, so we got them to Delhi just to meet me, and we're trying to take them to some of the other places for them to see how Delhi is. So these 2 girls came to me and said that, look, this is the first time we are moving out of Hyderabad. We have never moved out of, they are from the outskirts of Hyderabad. I've never moved out of Hyderabad. And I asked these 2 girls, what is your dream? So one girl said that, look, I want to work for Dell, one company in Hyderabad. The other girl said that, look, my parents have been farmers and I've never seen outside, but I definitely want a job where I can get some money so I can pay off the loan of my parents and go through this. So about 2-3 months later, I came to know both the girls have cracked into a job in a large MNC in Hyderabad. One of them is now readying herself to go to the US and settle and sort of get educated there. And that's the time you realize that what you do in education is not just about providing sort of value to that individual, but you are giving them something जिसके कारण उनकी अपनी लाइफ ही नहीं बट उनके अराउंड 4-5 लोगों की भी लाइफ बहुत बड़ी वे में चेंज होती है. So that was one example because these girls could not afford our program and they did the program via the foundation route. The other example that I talk about, and this I talk because this was the first batch that we launched. जो पहला बैच था हमारा, so we launched this program on data science, and this individual came from an army background, so did only naval background, did only sort of distance education, first time did a sort of online data science program, and after doing the program he came and told me that look, I never realized education could be like this, because in a lot of places I was doing just पढ़ करके एग्जाम दे दो और ख़त्म हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे आपने भी धक्का दिया, and I've been able to pick up something. We gave him a job at upGrad. We hired him for some work here, and today he's one of the leading data scientists in large OTT platform, and he's doing some cutting edge work. He would be earning about 40, 50, 60 lakh rupees, versus at a point of time where he only studied till class 10th, and after 10th it was only distance. His entire family would have moved to Bombay. They're living in a better society. Children are getting different kind of education. From being somebody who has not seen education, from the defense background to becoming one of the leading data scientists, it's a big journey. And I think those journeys definitely give us hope and excitement that जो हम कर रहे हैं सही कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, कुछ खराब होता है, ऊपर नीचे होता है, but जो कर रहे हो सही कर रहे हो, because people are finding real value from what they're doing right now.
How has upGrad used AI in its learning? We recently saw a post on LinkedIn by you on how upGrad is already integrated in its few programs.
नहीं, so I think AI तो बहुत पहले से हम करते आ रहे हैं, but I think specifically अभी क्या हो रहा है कि generative AI is becoming very very big. So I think on that particular front, we are aggressively pushing adding generative AI in across our program curriculum. So just on Gen AI, हमारे पास अभी एक doctorate program है for senior sort of colleagues, senior leaders in the industry who are doing a generative AI doctorate program. We have a master's program in generative AI. We have a postgraduate program in generative AI. We are now launching a build your own prototype in generative AI. See, because एक interesting comment था जब Sam Altman India आए हुए थे कि India will not be able to create big companies in generative AI. Not that, but he said that it's very difficult for Indian companies to compete against US. But I think Indian talent pool is ready, and we are now integrating generative AI across all our curriculum for people to learn and pick up Gen AI, because it's going to be a future sort of play. In our learning product also, we are integrating generative AI to create summarization, giving them the feedback of what people have learned, etc. And then in our customer support and customer satisfaction, we are adding Gen AI component, so the learner journey is also very smooth. So learning product, operations and curriculum, across all the three places we are adding generative AI so that it becomes a more front and center rather than just remaining behind the scene.
Women's का workforce में participation बहुत कम है इंडिया में, और बहुत टाइम से मैं 80s में बॉर्न हुआ था, हम भी बहुत सारी मूवीज देखते हुए यही देखे कि लड़कियों को घर से बाहर जाके कॉलेज या दूसरी सिटी में जाना तो उनके लिए बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम था. ऑनलाइन में ये प्रॉब्लम अब खत्म हो गया. वो घर से कोटा में बैठे हुए बॉम्बे की कंपनी से
यूनिवर्सिटी से पढ़
सकते हैं. तो हम इसको हाउ आर वी एनकरेजिंग दीज?
नो, सो आई थिंक देखिए, वुमेन कमिंग टू वर्क इज अ वेरी मैक्रो प्रॉब्लम. Just access to problem will not solve. देखिए, after you get married, one of the two spouses have to give up. Most likely the women say, okay, I'll focus on managing the household and managing the children, etc. So it's a very deeper problem than just what education can solve for. Having said that, we are seeing interesting sort of input coming where a lot of women learners are finding value of doing online programs. I still don't see us at 50-50 in terms of participation ratio. At an undergrad level, we are at a 50-50 kind of a participation ratio. As we go higher and higher, it ends up becoming more 60-40, 70-30 in terms of participation ratio. 70% male and 30% women. But what we are seeing is people who have taken a break and want to come back to work, they are finding online education is a very, very huge value add. As you said, small towns, I cannot send my daughters to different places, and therefore undergrad level pe women participation is much higher in online specifically. As they grow up higher, we see the dropouts happening largely because women are not in the workforce. There we are encouraging women coming back to work. If you have taken a maternity break, come back and take up our program. If you are looking for something new, come back and take up our program. And we are helping them in moving in that direction. While we do not have a women-centric batch, because we don't want to create a specific feeling that, look, if you are a different gender, then you have a different sort of learning needs, but we are seeing a significant amount of people coming back. We have launched only 1 or 2 women-centric programs. These are preparing women for CXO roles, and they are preparing women for as a women leader and first-time manager. And these are 2-3 places where we are seeing dedicated focus on women learners.
And how's the male-female ratio here at upGrad?
We are at about 60-40.
60-40. What do you suggest learners who are in 2-tier or 3-tier towns कि वो regular college जाके अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी करें, और it's very different learning in online?
I think online will give you access to a very different kind of faculty members, a different kind of learning experience, a different kind of access to content which you would not have at a local university. I think local university gives you a very good understanding of being close to the teacher, but also a community feeling. We are seeing a greater traction coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities where they're coming up and taking up these programs because they believe that जब वो ये program करते हैं, they get the best faculty, not just from that city, but from India, but from the world. They get the flexibility, they get that learning experience which is top quality, top notch, plus certification and add-ons, which makes them a lot more employable in a tier 1 city versus just being employable in a tier 2 or tier 3 city. That value add is where we are seeing a lot of tier 2, tier 3 folks coming up and taking up an online program so that they can now match up to somebody who's from a tier 1 city, because access should not be a reason why talent should get held back. If you provide them the right access, the talent will take up the right programs and move up in their career trajectory.